Hi, it's Andy, and today I'm bringing you the mid-year book Freakout tag. So as I've been watching these, I've seen a few versions going around. This is just the questions I have saved from last year. So I'm just going to stick with that one because I'm just basic. It's fine. We're all fine. I'm just going to keep this basic one going. Say basic one more time, Andy. Come on. If you haven't seen the mid-year Freakout tag, it is basically just going through the last 6 months, talking about highs, lows, new discoveries, that sort of thing. And yeah, I am really excited to get into this. So the first question is the best book you've read so far in 2026. And I feel like this is going to surprise you, because it surprised me. Because when I looked through it, the one book that really stood out to be the one that I was like hanging on a thread reading is Brimstone by Callie Hart. And every time I see this mentioned, nobody seems to like it. I loved this. I was gagged. I think what helps is I listened to the audiobook, and this one is done in duet narration. So they've got two narrators, the guy who does Kingfisher and the woman who does Myron? Ceres. I can't get names straight, honestly. But when Ceres speaks in Kingfisher's chapters, it's the voice actor for Ceres, and vice versa. So when Kingfisher or any other man speaks in Ceres' point of view, it is the male voice actor speaking, even though it's her chapter. So I think that's duet narration. Duet and dual narration, I can never remember which one's which, but I think that's the duet one. And I listened to this while reading, like while sitting with it open reading it, and I love this. I've seen so many people just not like it, and I'm stunned that I actually liked it. Don't know what that says about my taste, but for me, I cannot wait. Like, I'm so ready for the third book. Next question, which is really funny after what I've just said, is the best sequel you've read so far in 2026. I'm not going to use Brimstone again, that would be weird. So I'm going to say Platform Decay by Martha Wells. This is the 8th book novella in the Murderbot Diary series, and I reread all of Murderbot in preparation for this, and I just love being with Murderbot. I love watching it do things. I love getting into its head, and this, I just love, like, this is the thing I've been looking forward to for ages, all this year, knowing it was coming out. I've just been looking forward to this so much, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time reading this after rereading all of Murderbot. Next is your favourite reread, and for me that would have to be Project Hail Mary. After going to see the movie, I ended up rereading the book because I didn't want to read it and then go watch it, because I felt like I would start to be like, well, that's missing, that's missing, that's missing. I wanted to enjoy the book, the movie, and then go back and read the book and be like, okay, here's where blah blah blah, how they did it, like, compared to the book. And I just have such a good time rereading this book. It's a comfort reread. It's one that I listen to when I'm having like a really bad migraine and I just want to listen to something that I know. The voice actor who does, or the narrator who voices this in the audiobook, is just such, like, he's got such a calming voice, and yeah, I just love rereading this. Next is the genre that you've been loving / reading the most. For me, that's probably, I've been reading two genres most, so it's between romance and sci-fi fantasy. I put sci-fi and fantasy together because I struggle sometimes to differentiate. People who read them quite often probably think that's a wild thing to say, but I think some books are close enough that they cross over, and I just don't want to. I'm just sticking with, like, I don't understand I understand the spectrum of fantasy, like urban fantasy to high fantasy. I get that. I don't understand the hard sci-fi to whatever the opposite is. I don't get it, so I lump it into, so the most I've read is sci-fi fantasy. I have been up on my sci-fi fantasy this year, especially since I've been rereading Murderbot, rereading the Shadowhunter books. I have just been reading so much more fantasy and sci-fi, and just thoroughly enjoying it. Next is a new release you haven't read yet but you want to, and that has got to be The River She Became by Emily Varga. This is described as the Mummy but make it fae. That's how I describe it anyway. So it's like, imagine the Mummy was set, and instead of ancient So imagine the Mummy, but instead of ancient Egypt, we're looking at ancient fae things. So she has to go hunting for this ancient fae relic, but it's like mummy coded. I'm so excited about this. This wasn't even on my radar until I saw the author post about it and compare it to The Mummy, and I was like, The Mummy, you say? So I'm very excited about this. Next is most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and I really scoured my pre-orders for this. I really scoured because there's so much coming out that I'm excited about. Assassin to the Villain, the 4th book of that is coming out. The Library of the Dead, the 5th book in that series and the final book in that series is coming out, and I am desperately looking forward to both of those. But I think I have to give it to The Last King of Fairy by Cassandra Clare, because I am making a concerted effort to reread the entire Shadowhunter Chronicles, every single book except 3, which are like the Shadowhunters and Downworlders, and the notable denizens of the Downworld and Shadowhunter, like, except the ones that are just like lore. I'm rereading every single Shadowhunter book so that I have like the full context for this book, because I feel like after reading the Kickstarter ones that there is something that she's grabbed a whole load of the loose endings, the loose strings, and she's going to be tying those together, and I want to know what to look out for. So I'm rereading all the way from the first Mortal Instruments books all the way through until the Last Hours series, all of it, every single book apart from those 3 that there are 3, I've counted it, there's 3 that I'm not reading, but I'm reading the short stories, everything. I'm rereading all of it, and it's taken up the last few months, I'm not gonna lie. So because I'm putting in so much effort, I think The Last King of Fairy kind of has to take the slot. Next is the biggest disappointment, and that has to go to, apparently, Sir Cameron Needs to Die. It is in a pile somewhere, because it's now on my Depop, which is linked below, because it is like thingied as something like Assistant to the Villain. It's a cozy fantasy with like a funny side to it, like a cozy comedic fantasy rom-com-y type thing, and I didn't get it. It icked me out a little bit. I didn't like it. I did not like it. I didn't like the relationship between Cameron and the whatever he was called. I didn't like it. I didn't like the ending. I didn't like it. So unfortunately, I was pumped for this book. I was so pumped for this book, and I read it and immediately unhauled it. Next up is the biggest surprise, and for me that's got to be Silver Cloak by L.K. Stephen. Now, I am having a fantasy resurgence at the moment, personally. I never used to be a big fantasy reader, but as you can see, my fantasy is growing. Like, I've got the old classic 2010s, 2000s fantasies that we all read, you know, Divergent, Hunger Games, Vampire Academy, like all that jazz. Yes, I've got that. That's fantasy. That's different. That's urban fantasy. I'm really good with urban fantasy. I'm not good with high fantasy. Anything that's set in not our world, I struggle with, which is why I struggle with Cassie Clare's books that are set in fairy, because I don't like it. So yes, anything that's not set in our world, I have trouble with. But I'm having this resurgence of adoring fantasy. I'm really getting into it. But this specifically is the type of, there's like a mafia heist-esque gangs and like special forces police thing going on in a fantasy world, and I was just like, if you ever see like a romance book where it's like every trope you love, this is like every trope I usually don't like. But I read another L.K. Stephen book, Our Infinite Fates, and Becca loved this so much that I was like, do you know what? I'm going to give it a try. I got this off of Vinted for like a tenner or something. Maybe not even that, £8, maybe a tenner with the postage or something. And I was like, I'll give it a try. If I don't like it, I can resell it. I've not spent that much money on it. But I really enjoyed it, and I have pre-ordered Turncloak because I am invested. I am so shocked that I enjoyed this, but I'm thrilled about it. Not gonna lie. Next is the favourite new author, either a debut author or a new to you author. I believe this is a new to me author, yes. So this is published in 2023, so I'm late to the game, I understand this. But that is Paisley Hope. This is the Silver Pines Ranch series, and I was so nervous about reading this. I was so nervous. I was like, I'm not gonna like it. There's no point in me getting it. It's gonna be rip-off Elsie Silver, and I have done that before where I've read something because it's been like, for fans of X, Y, and Z authors. And I'm like, oh my god, I love those authors. And then I've read it and I've been like, no. But this, oh my god, I love this so much. It's such its own world. Like, it's so, yes, there are similar, I've been when I'm talking about this series, I do talk about it in relation to this one's like this Elsie Silver book and this one's like this Elsie Silver book, but only to give you an idea of the type of story. Paisley Hope's writing style is so her own. The characters feel so real, they feel so whole. I absolutely adore them. And the romances that she writes are both interesting and heart-wrenching and just, oh, I love this series so much. I'm so shocked. So shocked that I'm actually considering reading some of her dark romance. And it's not like dark romance, but it's like romance that is darker than I am usually willing to read, but I love this so much that I'm like, do I trust it? Next is your newest favourite character, and honestly I struggled with this one because I don't really do, like, there's nobody that's like stuck out to me that I've like thought in my head like, oh my god, this character that I can't stop thinking about. Like, it's not like in For Whom the Bell Tolls where it's got to be, you know, our characters from that, because I didn't read this year. I did not read this year, so it has to be from this year. And for that, I'm saying Kieran from Fighting Chance by Mads Rafferty. This is the second book in her, is it the Seahawks series? Is that what it's called? I can't remember. And he is the player, the guy that's always got a girl in his arm, different girl, never stays, etc, etc. And in the previous book, we meet him as part of the hockey team, but the book's not his book, so I'm counting it for this, because a lot of the books I read are like series or standalone series and things like that, so you see the character but they're not like front and centre, whereas Fighting Chance is his book. And in this book we discover that a lot of the attitude he has is because he was put into the foster system when he was very young after being seriously abused by his mum and his mum's dealers, boyfriends, clients, shall we say. And he finds out, he gets a call from the children's home that he was in when he was a child to say that a little girl has been dropped off and she is his daughter. And he has had no clue. He has no clue that he has a daughter. So he rushes there and they're like, yeah, we need you to either sign this paperwork to like let her live here, or you need to take her. And he's like, after the way I was treated here, I will be taking her. And he decides in that moment he will make sure she has the life he never had. She will never want for anything. She will never feel unloved. She will never feel unsafe. This book, I've not read it for months and I still want to cry. Oh, the way he took on that responsibility and just solid, like, boom, the walls went down. Like, he immediately just put his heart and soul into this child, into trying to do everything that was best for her. And like, no, that book just wrecked me. I commented on one of the posts that Mads made about it, and I was like, are you funding I can't remember exactly what it was, but something along the lines of like, are you funding a help group for us? Because what the hell was that? Yeah, even just thinking about it makes me want to cry, so I'm going to stop. Ironically, the next question is a book that made you cry. I could use Fighting Chance for that, but I'm not going to repeat books. What I am going to say though is Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. This is a reread. Yes, it still made me sob. You will see that whenever I get to edit in that video. It is the next vlog that I need to edit. There is going to be footage of me reading the end of this book and weeping, so you can look forward to that. I don't know if you'll see that before this or after this, but yeah, the end of this book. I read the first two books in the series and I was like, oh my god, it's not going to get me this time. I don't feel emotional reading this book. Got to the end, take it all back. I take it all back. This book just absolutely killed me. Like, absolutely ended me. And for why? For what reason? I just love their love. I love these books. So yes, I was a weeping mess, and there will be video evidence coming to you soon. Next, to sort of bookend that one, is a book that made you happy, and for that I decided to say Embraced by Belle. Again, this is another book that made me cry, but it's the end of the series. So Collide is the first one, then Spiral, then Revolve, then Embrace. And in my opinion, it is the best book in the series. It is so heartwarming. There are so many characters that go out on a limb for other characters. There's so many characters that just show exemplary behaviour for like other people. It's funny because the coach in that actually reminds me of Monty from In Her Own League and from the Windy City series. I think they would get on very, very well. But Embrace, like, Belle writing has improved so much, and Embrace really is the cherry on the cake. That book, there's two types of endings that you see when it comes to series. There's the ending where it's gut-wrenching, like when you watch the last episode of Friends and you're like, oh my god, that's it, it's gone. And then there's the ending where you feel so heart-happy about these characters, and that's how I felt about Embrace. Like, it just really, it was such a beautiful ending to this series, and the character, like, it was a funny story as well, so it just really made me happy. Next is the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received, and I had a lot of books that I could have used for that. I got the Olympic Bridgerton set, stunning. I got my Percy Jacksons, stunning. I got you can't see them but they're over here, the special edition of Long Live Evil. Like, there's so many stunning editions. My Murderbot series that you can't see because it is right behind me. Like, there are so many books, but the one that kept popping into my mind is Broken Dove by Danny Francis. This cover, like, I love jewel tones. I absolutely adore jewel tones, and this just looks like it's the jewel tone red with the gold, and it's so pretty, it's beautiful. This might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I just think that is an absolutely stunning cover. Next up is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Well, I have a few books I need to read by the end of the year. You could check out my 6-month check-in TBR video to see what books are on my TBR. But I also have, the choice that I've made here is to say the Shadowhunter Chronicles, because The Last King of Fairy comes out in November, and by then I need to have finished all of the Shadowhunter books, so I need to be getting on that. I'm about halfway through now. I'm about to start, this month it will be the 2 Eldest Curses books, the Bane Chronicles, which I've already read, and the Ghost of, not the Ghost of the Shadow Market, the stories from the Shadowhunter Academy. Then I'm on to the Dark Artifices series, which is the Julian and Emma series. Then I need to read the Last Hours series, and then I need, so there's 1 trilogy, 2 trilogy, and then the Ghost of the Shadow Market, and then the 3 Kickstarter books, which are nice and small, so that's fine. And I think that's me caught up. Like, I think I've done it so that I'll manage, like, it's going to be difficult, but I think I'll manage it. So yeah, the Shadowhunter books are definitely ones that I need to read before even the end of the year. And the next question is your favourite video or post that you've done so far this year. I have not been really posting that much this year. You will probably say, if you look at my channel, you'll be like, Andy, you have been. But I've mainly been posting my wrap-ups and my TBRs, just mainly for me to keep track of what I've been reading. I've been using, it's gone now. Why is it gone? I've been using this for my TBR. So last year I kind of hit a burnout point, and so I didn't really post anything. But this year I wanted to at least post my TBR and wrap-ups just so I have it on record. And Tori also made us all for Christmas one of the things she got us anyway, were these tubs with prompts in them. If you've watched my TBR this year, my TBR is being chosen by this. Although the last 2 months I've been trying to shoehorn my TBR into prompts because I had a lot of rereading to do. But from August, it will be blindly choosing books, mostly. There are some rereads I still need to do, but it will be trying to get the books for the prompts instead of the prompts for the books. As you can see, I'm like nearly halfway through this. I've been keeping this tub with the notes, so these are ones that I'll never use, like ones that are just not prompts that fit me as a person or as a reader. But I also have this, which is full of the prompts that I have already used and will reuse, but I want to get through all of the prompts, so I'm putting them to the side so that I get new, fresh prompts every time, and then once I'm finished with these prompts, I can dump them all back in and start again. But as to the question of what is my favourite video or post I've done this year, the one that I did put so much effort into, this video took me so long. It took me so long for, like, I did research, I pulled the books, this took me effort, and I ended up in a flare-up afterwards, not gonna lie, and that is my LGBTQ plus Rex for Pride Month. Now, I just wanted to put a video out for Pride Month. You shouldn't be restricting your LGBTQ plus reading for Pride Month, just like you shouldn't be reading just Black authors in Black History Month. We have a different one I think it's February in the US and November in the UK. I might be wrong, but, you know, if you're only reading Black authors in those months, you're not reading enough Black authors. You should be reading them like, you should be reading LGBTQ plus authors throughout the year, and you should be reading authors of colour throughout the year. But as it was Pride Month, I just wanted to do a wee video so that you could see the options of books that I've read and recommended. But yeah, that took me so much effort, and it made me so happy, especially to see the number of books that I had. And that was just like, I had to stop at one point because I was like, this is getting to be too many. So like, there's probably more that I have, but yeah, I love that video so much, and I really did put a lot of effort into it. And lastly is to mention your favourite book community members. So I'm obviously going to say Becca, Chloe and Smash, because we are friends and they have been really like keeping consistent. Smash is coming back with videos, and like they're all just doing the thing. Chloe's just been through a move and had to reset all of her channel and everything, but it's still, throughout the stuff she's been going through, has been posting. I have also discovered, so Belle, Therese, Cassidy and Gavin are the 3 that I have been watching for a while, but lately I've just really been enjoying their content. So like Belle, for example, I've been getting so many recommendations from. So the Silver Pines Ranch, that was a Belle recommendation. I can't even remember what other one, but there's so many of Belle's recommendations that I've picked up, and I've been so shocked that I've liked them because I never thought of them, but I'm starting to trust Belle's taste because it's very similar to mine, but I didn't know I had that taste, if that makes sense. Same with Cassidy, like there are so many Cassidy recommendations that I've been taking for fantasy that normally I wouldn't have taken. Like the first recommendation I took from Cassidy was Babel by R.F. Kuang. Cassidy did not like Babel by R.F. Kuang, but the way she broke down why she didn't like it and what the book was about made me realise that it was a book for me, and made me try it, and it made me really enjoy it. So being able to listen to Cassidy and what she thinks of books and why she likes them, why she doesn't like them, it's really helped me get into more fantasy, and I really shocked myself by how much fantasy I've been able to pick up. So yeah, it's just been amazing getting like to really focus in on that. Gavin, he has been making so many fun videos lately. They are nice long videos that often I'll put on in the background while I'm reading. And again, they're just like, they're fun and lighthearted, but you see how much effort he puts in. He's currently been having a bit of an issue that has gone very public, and he basically got severely screwed over. You should go to his channel if you want to see what's been going on with that, because I don't think it's my business to like tell you about it, because he kind of wants to draw a bit of a line under it. People aren't letting him draw a line under it, and I don't want to wade into being one of those people that's like, but yeah, he got severely screwed over, and honestly the way he's managed to keep himself together while it's been going on is admirable, not gonna lie. And finally, somebody who I have just discovered and have been absolutely loving. Again, their videos just go on a loop in the background because I love their presence, I love watching them while I'm reading, and that is Larry. And I'm brand new to Larry, I've only just started watching her videos, but there's just something about her personality, there's something about the kind of person she is that just feels so welcoming and so just, it helps me settle. Like I say, I'll put her videos in the back. I've been watching videos from like years ago just because they come up in my watch next as I'm watching. I'm like, do you know what, I'll put that on and I'll start reading, like I'll be reading along. Sometimes I can read while she's talking, sometimes I get caught up watching her, especially when she's doing videos with her mum Eureka. Honestly, I love her relationship with her mum. My relationship with my mum is very similar. Eureka is an absolute hoot and a half, and I love watching them together. But yeah, I only just started watching Larry the past couple of months actually, but I'm already so like excited when I see her videos go up. There are so many other people as well, like I can't even, there's so many other people that I could talk about, but that's just like a small snippet of some of my favourites. There we go, that is the mid-year book freakout tags. If you have anybody you want to recommend to me on Booktube, please do. Like I said, that is a very, like those people are a very small amount of the people that I actually watch. They're just some that I pulled out because recently they've really like stuck out to me as creators that I've been enjoying. But please recommend me creators down in the comments below. If you want to let me know you were here but you don't want to sit and write a comment, if you leave me some kind of book emoji, and also you could possibly tell me what some of your favourites have been for the year. Please do like if you want to, and subscribe if you want to see more of this chaos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.